Hi, my name is Ellie Roy, and I'm the project manager and site civil engineer for the County Animal Shelter project.
The County Animal Shelter will be a one-story, 24,000 square foot animal shelter in Santee, California that is to be constructed on an existing lot that is approximately 580,000 square feet northwest of Riverview Parkway and North Magnolia Avenue. The remaining area of our site will be used for parking, landscape, stormwater mitigation, or remain untouched. The project will encompass a site development design, traffic design, stormwater analysis, water and sewer study, a geotechnical study, and a structural design. The focus of this project will be on designing an effective animal shelter by implementing low impact development standards and using sustainable design principles, practices, and performances. This project will also be obtaining a minimum LEED Gold certification and complying with the county stormwater quality management due to its proximity to the San Diego River. The scope of this work within this area has multiple parts entailing site civil development for the shelter itself and the expansion of Riverview Parkway. The existing condition plan displays the existing utilities and topographical data for the establishment of the future development on the site. Very little demolition is needed for this project beforehand. Since there is only natural vegetation and little fence line, the demolition is very minimal on the parcel itself. In addition to demolition, a parking lot layout is needed for the site. In order to accommodate ADA requirements, 3 car ADA spaces and 1 van ADA space was designed for the site. This should accommodate the animal shelter's needs. Several other site developments were made, such as installing asphalt concrete, curb ramps, and a valley gutter. Regional standard drawings, in addition to specialized details, were created to visually describe these elements on the site. The project includes grading a relatively flat site to encourage overland flow patterns. Since the site already naturally flows to the north and the west, the team wanted to keep these patterns. ADA grading design was also considered during this process, giving access to the animal shelter from the parking lot. Included in the grading design are infiltration basins. These help retain runoff within project boundaries and help mitigate excess stormwater to run into the Riverview Parkway expansion and into the other areas of the parcel.
Hi, my name is McDaniel, and I'm the Water and Wastewater Engineer for the County Animal Shelter Project.
In the context of water and wastewater, the proposed county animal shelter building created the need for 3 wet utilities: firewater, domestic water, and sanitary sewer. These utilities are to be picked up from the street improvements made along Riverview Parkway by the city of Santee. With these utilities in mind, a water study and a sewer study were conducted in order to account for the size of the building, the classification of the facility as a whole, and the overall needs of the facility. The water study found an average daily demand of around 2,800 gallons per day and a peak hourly demand of around 5,600 gallons per day. These demands established a need for an 8-inch C900 PVC firewater pipe connected to the building, as well as to a fire hydrant along the southeast side of the facility. In addition, a 2-inch copper domestic water pipe would connect to the building from the existing water line running along Riverview Parkway. The sewer study found an average daily sewer flow of 840 gallons per day and a peak hourly sewer flow of around 1,760 gallons per day. These sewer demands found an established need for an 8-inch C900 PVC sanitary sewer pipe connecting the proposed building to an existing sewer manhole, again along Riverview Parkway. The proposed utilities will not be affected by any crossings with existing lines, and therefore development is simply a matter of getting existing utilities along Riverview Parkway connected to the proposed building.
Hi, my name is Ken Daplas, and I'm a geotechnical engineer for the County Animal Shelter Project.
In terms of the geotechnical study from our visual exploration, the site was filled with soil that was loose, coarse sand, filled with several different types of rocks. Specifically, it was 85% sand, 10% silt, and 5% clay. Moreover, numerous vegetation such as shrubs, dry bushes, and trees, and burrows of animals were also seen dispersed along the site. According to Construction Testing and Engineering, or known as CTE, some of the rock classified were Cretaceous igneous rocks and Jurassic igneous rocks. Quaternary previously placed fill were also found at a depth of 15 feet, and quaternary alluvium colluvium undivided were found to be at a depth of 46 feet. Studies from the United States Department of Agriculture shows that our site consisted of Visalia sandy loam and Grangeville fine sandy loam. Observing the classifications of these 2 soils, pipe maintenance can be expected on site during construction. Furthermore, CTE also measures and evaluates groundwater to be at approximately 16 to 21.5 feet below the surface. These depths are expected to vary depending on the seasons and subsurface geological conditions of the soil. With increased precipitation or irrigation for future vegetation, it is imperative that proper drainage systems are implemented to account for high saturation within the soil. For the foundation of the county animal shelter, we would use post-tension slab-on grades that is 4 inches thick and use 4,000 psi concrete.
Hi, my name is Kirk, and I'm a structural engineer for the County Animal Shelter Project.
For the structural portion of the San Diego County Animal Shelter building, we were requested to build a building that was about 24,000 square feet. In doing so, I designed the building using the load and resistance factor design method and used these following code manuals: ACI 318-14, ASCE 7-10, ASTM A615-20. For the structural foundation of the building, we used an industry standard 4-inch thick slab with an F'(C) or compressive strength of concrete value of 4,000 psi. With this, we found that the spread footings required for this building would be 7 feet by 7 feet by 2 feet, using 8 pieces of number 5 rebar as reinforcement, and 4 pieces of number 4 rebar will be used as dowels to attach to the steel columns. As for the structural shell of the column, we found that the maximum load ever received is 87,170 pounds. In doing so, we designed a 12-inch by 10-inch by half-inch hollow steel tube using ASTM A36 steel, which has a maximum compressive strength of 36,000 psi. In our calculations, we found that the maximum compressive strength ever received by any column is 4,150.95 psi. Since this number is within the range, the column will not fail in compression. Furthermore, when designing these columns, we have to deal with a buckling stress. In order to calculate the buckling stress, we find the critical load for the columns, and since the columns are all the same, the critical load will be the same. With this, we know that our maximum load ever received is 87,170 pounds, and since this is less than the 3.9 million pounds calculated for the critical load, our column will not fail in buckling. Furthermore, we have to design beams that will fit into the structure, and currently all I have designed is the I-beams, and that they're going to be made of ASTM A36 steel. We also have to worry about seismic load since the building is built in California. As such, we need brace frames, and there will be 4 of them total in this building. Lastly, our building is built in a high wind area, so we have to account for a wind load on the building to make sure it can withstand that.
Hi, my name is Katy Bass, and I'm the Environmental and Stormwater Engineer for the County Animal Shelter Project. For this project, we also needed to conduct a stormwater analysis to find the stormwater runoff for the pre-existing conditions and then for the proposed site. For the pre-existing conditions, the site had a slope of approximately 1%. The stormwater runoff currently pools in the northeast and southwest corners. The pre-existing 100-year peak flow rate is approximately 9.5 cubic feet per second. For the proposed site, the stormwater runoff will be collected in 3 interconnected infiltration basins to the north, east, and west of the building footprint. The basin design will meet the volume requirement of 11,270 cubic feet. In the event of overflow, the water will be diverted from a storm drain located on Riverview Parkway through a 6-inch pipe.
Hi, I'm Sarah Mondloch, and I am the Transportation Engineer for the County Animal Shelter Project.
These utilities will be connected to existing utility lines via the city of Santee. This project included a public improvement plan, which included utility connections, street widening of Riverview Parkway, and a sidewalk. With the expectation of future development of our project location, Riverview Parkway was initially built with 2 lanes and a median, not utilizing the northern section of the median. The expansion will include 2 new westbound lanes and a new sidewalk spanning the entire face of the proposed site. The southern portion will have new striping to accommodate 2 eastbound lanes. Next, a traffic signal modification plan was created. However, a traffic signal modification will not be needed for the widening of Riverview Parkway, as there are no traffic impacts due to the animal shelter. And the mast arms, signal heads, and timing is currently set up for the proposed improvement. Lastly, during construction, the existing flexible bollards maintain traffic on the southern side of the median. Striping on the southern portion of Riverview Parkway will be completed last.